Hello everybody, Pancakes here, and we have some kill confirmed on Village. And I do apologize for the video settings. For whatever reason, the color keeps on coming out tinted, and I don't know why. I've tried playing around with various color settings in the ArcSoft software, which comes with the HD PVR, and it's not doing anything. The video is just simply not changing. I don't know what's wrong with it, so I think I'm just going to call Hotbog and see if I can get an answer from them. But I apologize for that. If any of you guys have had any experience with this problem in particular, or know a lot about the software, please let me know of any possible solutions, because I want to be able to get my videos looking good again. So I would really appreciate that, and I'll try to get that fixed as soon as possible. So I had a number of people ask me in my previous video why I sometimes don't pick up the dog tags, and I do try to pick up the dog tags if I can. I don't actively ignore them, but like you see right there in that particular instance, I was able to hear footsteps near them that was not associated with my teammate, and I had known that if I went over to pick those up, that I would have gotten killed. And generally speaking, I don't think it's the best idea to suicide yourself for a dog tag. Some people do that. They think that you know, that's part of playing the objective, and yeah, you're playing the objective, but you're also giving away a dog tag to the enemy team, so it just kind of neutralizes your effort. I prefer to look at the situation from all angles and try and make the best decision based off of the information available to me, which I think is really kind of what goes into good decision making. And sometimes I make a mistake. I mean, maybe I'll look in the video and say, oh, maybe I should have picked that one up. Looks like I could have done so safely. But, you know, it's always easier to critique a video after the fact than it is to actually do it while you're playing. So please understand that, of course, I'm prone to make some mistakes in my videos. Who doesn't? But, you know, as a rule, I do try to pick up the dog tags, and sometimes I don't pick them up because for whatever reason at the time I felt like doing so would almost certainly result in my death. So that's my explanation for that. So one thing I wanted to talk about in this video is a game that I recently became aware of through Machinima Respawn. And that game goes by the name of Nexuiz. I don't know much about this game. I just became familiar with it yesterday. But from what I've seen, it looks to be quite good. And basically, it's an arcade type shooter, similar to maybe Unreal Tournament or Quake 3. And it seems to also have elements of Halo in it as well. And I loved games like Quake 3 back in the day, because those games were just pure skill. Like, if there was a game, a first-person shooter that was skillful, that was the definition of that game. I mean, it was a game where if you were an inferior player, you were not going to get a kill. Like, it was pure skill, and I loved it. I died a lot because I wasn't that good at it, but I loved and appreciated the skillful aspect of it. And I sort of miss games like that. I feel like not too many games come out like that. Halo, I think, is relatively skillful compared to maybe some of the other games that come out, but even then, you know, it's not quite like Quake was. So if you guys like games where it's more or less about your skill and not about you know, luck or anything like that, that might be a game that you'll be interested in. I'm pretty interested in it. I'm interested in seeing more of it. It's developed by a lesser known studio. I don't think it's an independent game, but you know, in a market as oversaturated as the video game industry, it is very difficult to compete against companies like Bungie and Infinity Ward, because those games already have a very established fan base of people who are going to be there opening night for sure, and it is difficult to break into the market. So if the game turns out to be good, and I don't know, it might turn out to be a glitchy mess, but if it turns out to be good, and if the gameplay turns out to be good, and if it's balanced and all that fun stuff, then I do like to try and support smaller game developers, because I think that a lot of the times that's where a lot of the innovation comes from. Because what happens, I mean, look at the Call of Duty franchise, for example. I know a lot of you guys like the Call of Duty franchise, but let's be completely honest. Ever since maybe Modern Warfare 2, or you know, Modern Warfare 2, I'll admit, Infinity Ward did make some pretty big changes, but ever since then, the games have been more or less the same. I mean, this game here, I mean, say what you will, but it's more or less Modern Warfare 2.5 with some slight changes. It looks the same, it feels the same. There's a few minor changes. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, I understand that if you find a formula that works, it's usually a good idea to stay with it. But what I like about these smaller developers is that they tend to take more risks. And they either end up with absolutely terrible games, or they end up with games that are unique, fun, and really just haven't ever been seen before, which is something I'm always interested in seeing. So I'll leave a link to that in the description if you guys are interested in seeing it. I think it looks pretty good so far, and of course I can't really give you guys a real opinion on it until I have the chance to play it, but from what I've seen, it looks intriguing. And another thing I wanted to talk about is Twitter. I've said this numerous times, but I think it's important to be said again because the fact of the matter is YouTube's subscription feature is quite broken. And I know this because people always send me a message saying, "Oh, you're back. I haven't seen," or "I didn't know you came back," even though I've been back for like months. So, you know, it kind of leads me to believe that the subscription feature is broken. And as a result, I mean, if any of you guys want to stay up to date with me and want to know when my video goes up and not have to worry about the subscription feature failing on you, Twitter is the best way to do it because whenever I upload a video, either it be to this channel or Machinima, it will always be posted on Twitter. So it is bar none the best way to keep up to date if you are interested in doing so. So I'll leave the link to my Twitter in the description, and please follow me if you want to be up to date. And I understand a lot of you guys don't like Twitter. I personally don't use it aside from things relating to YouTube. So I understand the sentiment, but it is a good way to keep in touch. So yeah, looks like we're running out of time. I'm kind of out of things to say, so I think I'll just cut this commentary a little bit short. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video, and we'll see you guys later.